Everybody, bonsoir. Je m'appelle Anna, and I want to welcome you here tonight and thank my hosts, thank Chandra and Louie for inviting me out. I'm from Seattle, Washington. How many of you been to Seattle? Okay, you must come because it's not this cold. And it's beautiful there, just like it's very beautiful here. How many of you are guests here tonight? Okay, raise them really high because I have like a disco ball and lots of lights. Okay, good. Welcome. Welcome. So I'm going to take probably a good hour to an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not known for talking fast, but I like to give lots of information because I'm very, very passionate about this company and giving you just what you need tonight to make an educated decision as to whether this is a fit for you. We're going to talk about Miriam. Of course, that's the star of the show. We're going to go into product. We're going to go into the history of the company, the record-breaking growth. We're going to go into a little bit of futuring and go into how easy it is to get started in our business plan. And you're going to hear some real stories. But I'd like to start first by introducing myself a little bit. I have done a lot of things in my life, most of it centered around classical music. And I have to tell you, my earliest memory from being in music and being a kind of competitive in the arts was Abbotsford, Canada. Anyone know Abbotsford, Canada? By Vancouver, British Columbia. And that's kind of where I got my first taste of performing arts and the competitive nature of it and striving to be an orchestral flutist or an opera flutist or a chamber musician. And always through the last 20 years, I came across the most innovative, most talented, passionate Canadians. So, I mean, you guys have a tremendous culture, and as I was flying up here today, I kept on saying, I'm going to Ottawa. I finally get to go to Montreal, where I just think it exudes class and just neat people, educated, professional, very, very discerning. I mean, don't you think you're a discerning crowd? I do. And what I also remember about working with Canadians, and I'm actually a quarter Canadian. I know, it's like the only thing I can really calculate because my grandmother was born in Alberta. They're hardworking. You have a tremendous work ethic. And when I first met our CEO, Jeff Olson, 2.5 years ago, it was in Portland, Oregon. And I said to him, when's Canada coming? He'll tell you that was like the second question out of my mouth. And so I'm so happy that we're here, and this is truly something that may not come across your plate another time in your lifetime. And so if I do my job tonight, you're going to go home, you're going to stay up late, you're going to be writing names down, you're going to be thinking, why not me? So let me just dial it back a little bit. About 9 years ago, I kind of started to see my time in classical music. I was teaching a lot of flute students, so I was a bit of an entrepreneur that way. I had a lot of high school students. I also taught at a university in Seattle, which was on my bucket list to be a university professor. I did that for like 6 months, and I thought, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And so I started looking for what I wanted to do in my life. And what I wanted to do was be a stay-at-home mom, but not just be home. I wanted to give my kids really tremendous experiences, some of the experiences I was given in life, but so much more today. And a girlfriend or an acquaintance of mine kept on calling me and asking me to look at a skincare company. And I thought, are you crazy? Why do I want to look at a skincare company? She's like, no, you can have extra, I can teach you how to get extra income, and it's a business opportunity. And I said to her, my husband works for a software company. He has a job. He's traveling 2 weeks of the year, or 2 weeks of the month, pretty much. I have too many students. I have a college gig. I don't need another income opportunity. Can you guys relate to that? That's what I heard. And I remember thinking, why is this so important? I look at this. And so finally, she called me like 8 times, 7 times. I said, I'll have coffee with you, then maybe she'll leave me alone. And so I sat down with her, and that day I sat down with her, and this happens to everybody, I truly believe this, if you could just lay down, put your preconceived ideas aside, and just say, educate me for the next 20 minutes. Okay, you have my attention. What's this all about? You're going to be shocked about what you learn. And just like I was 9 years ago, it was another company. It was a very mature company, about 33-year-old company in the US. But I heard 2 things: residual income, well, actually 3 things: leveraged income and passive income. And I said to her, well, I've been a musician for so many years. I've got a master's degree. I don't know if could I qualify for residual income? and, you know, are you sure you can show me how to, you know, earn some residual income? So she showed me something kind of like this presentation, although there's nothing like Nerium today, so I can't say it's the Nerium presentation. It wasn't, but it was in the model. It was in the direct selling industry. And I remember seeing some outrageous numbers for income, and I remember laughing at her saying, those cannot be true. I just don't believe you can earn anywhere near that kind of money selling skincare. And I said to her, I won't get the car. Don't even talk to me about a car bonus. I don't even need a car, which was a total lie. And then I said to her, if you can show me $1,000, I might be interested. I mean, if you think you can teach and train me how to build something where I could earn $1,000, that would be residual. In other words, it would come in whether I picked up the phone or not, or logged onto my computer or not, you know, passive income. It would just come in every month. For my family at the time, that would solve a problem. So I share that with you because you heard how Chandra introduced me as an income earner, which I still hear that number and I go, who are they talking about? That seems so surreal. But when I first looked at this 9 years ago, I could only see $1,000. And that was enough to put my big toe into the game, I guess, to be quite honest. And I remember saying, you know what? I don't know all the other parts of this, whatever you're talking about. It sounds like a bunch of shenanigans to me, but if you can get me from good to gooder, and you can show me $1,000, maybe two, that would solve a problem. And the problem that I had at the time was my husband and I had our 3 kids in private school. And every 6 months, a little dilemma came up. Do we keep them in private school? Do we pay that kind of money? And I'm teaching flute students. And, you know, when you trade time for dollars, you're fixed. And there's not much you can do about it. And I never went into music for the money. But when you have kids and you have growing needs of a family and the demands, you start looking at your time. You start looking at the trade you're making. And I saw the sacrifice my husband was making. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. So I was willing to, quote unquote, gamble, take a little chance, a leap of faith, and learn, okay? What happened in that process was, first off, I was very uncoachable. I was very stubborn. I was very proud. I was I didn't want anyone to know what I was doing, so I was like an undercover, you know, agent, and I didn't do very well until I went to an event, and it could have been an event like this, although this is pretty swank. I can't say I've ever been under disco balls, but I remember saying, I heard someone in the front of the room, and this is exactly what happened. She was a banker. She was a very successful, I remember this day, I could tell you her name, but I won't. Remember her story. She was a very, very prestigious bank in New England. She had worked her way up the chain as a woman who that wasn't a women's industry at the time. And she was a lot older than myself. And she was the very, very top executive. And she woke up one day and looked in the mirror and said, who are you? And more to the point, I can't do this for 20 more years. And that was her pivot point. I like to call it the day of disgust, where you say, what have I done with my life? How did I get here? And how can I get my life back? And I heard her story that day, and I thought to myself, wow, just because you've always done something in life, because people told you or sold you a bill of goods or told you this is your identity, and you've done it for so long, that doesn't mean you don't have to get off the track or change course if it's not fulfilling. And so that day I started to think, I listened a little bit more, and I heard her talk about not just money, but helping people change their lives and mentoring people who wanted more, whether it's more time, more flexibility, more meaning. But at the end of the day, when you help enough people in our business get what they want, there's not much you can question in life about what you can achieve, particularly in a company like this. And so I listened to her that day and I thought, Anna, you need to get over yourself and you need to pay attention to this. This is real. And that's kind of how I really started to pay attention to what our industry was all about. I did okay in that company. But then again, it was a 30-some-year-old company, and it was just, you know, it was what it was. I did okay. But during my time there, I studied. One thing I've always been good at is being a student. So I studied the industry, and I studied what makes a company great, and timing and leadership, and really got to believe the lifestyles of people who make a career path of a company like Nerium. And I started to see tremendous leaders in different companies. I'm not just talking about one company. People who opened orphanages in Africa, people who retired spouses, who retired parents, who did amazing things in churches and their communities. And I started to see this is a lot more than selling skincare. This really is making a difference, and it's what the individual wants it to be in their life. So I became a big believer in the industry. Now what happened was 2.5 years ago, you guys, are you following me now? Are you with me? Now we're 2.5 years ago. And I was in that company, which was a 30-some-year-old company, very mature, going kind of like this in the States, big time, skidding down the hill. And I thought, I'm stuck in the wrong company. But I love this space. And it was about that time, I had a knock on the door, and someone said, we need to talk. Jeff Olson has started his own company, and it's one product, it's ground floor, and I'm going, and I want you to go with me. And that just started a whole other chain reaction. It was actually the same woman who introduced me 9 years ago, the very first time, to the idea of direct sales network marketing. So I share that with you because I came to the table 2.5 years ago with an expectation, with I studied. I mean, I was learned in the sense that I spent 6.5 years in the space. I knew the markers to look for. I knew about consumable products. I knew about anti-aging. I knew about systems. I knew about having a company with culture and purpose and meaning. I knew compensation, and I knew what to look for, and I knew leadership. And it was just so very interesting. I'm going to jump into who our CEO is and so forth. But 6 months prior to being introduced to Nerium International, I was given a copy of The Slide Edge. And that book just became, anyone read The Slide Edge yet? I know a lot of brand partners have. Raise your hand. Yeah. I mean, I always tell everybody, if you do nothing else, get The Slide Edge. I give it away to a lot of people. I have like 12 copies all the time at my house. It's a book on mastery, success, and happiness. And I've been to university and conservatory in Europe for 8 years. If I could have had that book when I was 17 years old, I don't know where I'd be today. So definitely, I heard about Jeff Olson. I was blown away. And I said, you mean the Jeff Olson, the Slide Edge Jeff Olson? They said, yes, Jeff Olson. I remember thinking to myself, what is he doing in skincare? Like, what does he know? Because this is Jeff Olson, who could do anything, who's the millionaire next door, the millionaire maker, a celebrated author, consultant to the whole industry on the global scale. What is he doing in skincare? And so I basically, shut all the shutters, shut the door down, said, we're going to, dial this back and see what's going on here because I don't want to miss an opportunity. I was a really hard sell. Jeff told the story last year, actually, in St. Louis. I grilled him for 4 hours. I just happened to be able to have a face-to-face with him the next day because he was in Portland, Oregon. And I just shot him one after the other questions and suppose this and tell me about this. And I grilled him for 4 hours. You know what really struck me at the end of that conversation? He never really tried to encourage me to join this company. And I thought, well, that's odd. I thought he would have tried harder to help, want me to join the company and get involved. And I went home, and my husband, who's has been very successful over the years in business, I said, what do you think about that? He goes, he knows what he's got. You need to do this. He knows what he's got. He doesn't need you, Anna. He knows what he's got. And I said, that was my takeaway as well. So the next morning, I had a bottle in play. I was at the bus stop as soon as the kids got on the bus over my first friend's house, and the wheels started turning. So I just share that with you because I knew with Jeff Olson at the helm of this company, it was going to be significant. I did not know how quickly and to the degree we've seen this be the hottest company in direct sales, direct marketing, have the most successful anti-aging skincare launch that we know of on record. And what the projected growth forward is going to make everything we've done in 3 years look like a warm-up. I never in a million years dreamed I'd be here talking to you today. Now, I knew it would be good. I knew it would be very, very good. But there's something to be said for coming from Seattle, Washington. And I was talking to Louis today, and I understand Ottawa is pretty entrepreneurial. And you have a lot of IT here, innovation, right? Well, we have that in Seattle, and you're very fortunate to have that mindset because I don't think everybody in all parts of the country or the world has that mindset. In Seattle, obviously we have Microsoft, we had Starbucks, we have Boeing, we have REI, we have Nordstrom's, we have Amazon. I mean, the list goes on and on of entrepreneurship and startup companies that have gone global. And we've seen with our own eyes how effective and how fortunate you can be if you're aligned at the right place at the right time with one of these companies. Does that make sense? I see that exact correlation today with Nerium. I call it the perfect storm. And that truly is kind of why I'm out here on the road. I call myself a Nerium evangelist because I want people to experience even a fraction of the the gratitude I have, the freedom it feels like to have the money monkey off your back, what it feels like to help other people, not to be right or to sell them or to close them, but to educate people there's another way. You don't have to do what you've been told you need to do your whole life, and you don't have to be sold a salary or a time schedule or a career path. If you want more, it's okay. What we do is very part-time. It's very flexible. You own it. You get to take this, to $500,000 a month if that's, something that interests you that would improve your life. I like to say move you from good to gooder. And I say that, I know that's bad English, but I think people remember gooder. I hope they do. Or maybe you see great. Maybe you see, I want the car. My current employer is not going to give me a luxury car bonus. I want the car, and I want to help other people get the car. Maybe you're someone who sees a six-figure income. By the time I get done tonight, I'm going to share some examples of what residual income looks like and feels like, because I don't know. Maybe this is a really sharp crowd and very successful. I know my friends and where I come from, most people don't experience residual income. Residual income is the kind of income where you earn it and it comes your way whether you get up in the morning or not. That's a pretty amazing freedom. And so I want to kind of get into all that tonight, but just ask you to, wherever you're coming from tonight, be open. I just came back from the Northeast, like Northeast New Jersey kind of thing. And I got to tell you, there were some closed people. And if people want to be closed and cynical, that's fine. But I know one thing. Opportunity comes and abundance comes to people who are open. So be open. It may not be for you, but you'll be educated and you'll know. Okay? So we all good? Okay, good. Let me figure out this little thing. Okay, we're gooder. All right. Très bien, right? Okay. That was like 8th grade French. Okay. So we're going to talk about Nerium International, obviously. We're going to talk about a record-setting growth. Truly, I've just never seen anything like it. And, you heard Chandra say a little bit about our company and how we started. Everything focused around real science, real breakthrough science and products that are backed by clinical studies. We're definitely going to touch upon our culture, because I do know about Canadians. You guys all are about purpose and meaning. You just don't want a quick buck, and you just don't want, money. You want the whole package. And so we're going to talk about the culture, and then we're going to talk about the industry, a booming industry, and why. Here's a little teaser to get us started, talking about the space of anti-aging. And interesting enough, when I kind of got started 9 years ago in another company, we had an anti-aging product. It was pretty good, actually, at the time. People looked at you like you were crazy. What do you mean anti-aging? They didn't believe you. And I remember saying, I think we're before our time. People just didn't understand the concept and the category of anti-aging. Now, if you tell anybody on the streets of Ottawa or Montreal or you're in Toronto, I've got a breakthrough anti-aging product. We're launching it in Eastern Canada. I've got a bottle. I'd love for you to try it. They practically grab it out of your hands. I need that. Everybody wants anti-aging. So we look at this just simple chart. This is actually from economists and industry experts, that in 2011, globally, anti-aging was a $160 billion industry. It's projected to grow to $1 trillion by 2025. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't even visualize $1 trillion. Maybe I look at the U.S. debt, I might have an idea, but I don't like to look at that. But it's a lot, okay? So when you look at an income opportunity in a company, you don't have to be super passionate about skincare to get this, right? Right? This is distribution at its finest, because you have a window of opportunity to capitalize and cast a net to pick up some of that market share. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hey, I'm all about skincare. If I can take care of my family, I can help other people take care of their families, and we can have a better quality of life. And it just so happens our skincare is out of sight, so that makes it a double win. Okay, so talking about one of the most successful product launches, I think it was the Harvard Business School quantified a successful product launch if you reached $50 million in your initial year. We reached $100 million in our first year of sales. That was extraordinary, particularly when you think of, I don't have the product here, but like one little bottle of night cream in one country. That's an incredible revenue number. Again, coming from Seattle, the biggest contrast, people's jaws drop. If they don't, like, I didn't really know this until I heard the contrast, but Microsoft took 9 years to reach $100 million in revenue. Now, isn't that crazy? Microsoft. So hindsight's 2020, but what I'm sharing with you right now is that is a fact that in their first year, we surpassed a company on a success level of launching like a Microsoft with one breakthrough anti-aging product in just one market. We went on to be the youngest company to be recognized on the Direct Selling News Global 100 list. That is another accomplishment because there's thousands of companies out there on the globe. I mean, on the worldwide space of direct marketing, network marketing, to make it into, I think it was 86 in their first year, to go to 54 our second year. I always get those numbers mixed up. I think it's 54, 56, 54. But anyway, we're cruising down that list. We're expecting a massive advancement for this year's announcement at the DSN event coming up. What I want you to know is we're a company everyone's watching. And there's something very special when that happens. And when that happens, and again, this is very, very unique because of our affiliation with real science, Nerium Biotech, the kind of revenue and the kind of explosive early growth we've had, but a leader like Jeff Olson, who's gathered the best in the executive team to bring to the table, people are seeking us out. And I don't just mean people like us, because people are coming. I mean, I get calls from Japan. I get calls all over the place, and we get Facebook messages, and the company's turning people away from Dubai right now. Like, no, we're not there yet. We're the company everyone's watching. That's important that you understand that because you're the early movers. You have the opportunity to be here now. They have to wait. They could be one day in your organizations, okay? The second thing is we're a company that real science is seeking us out. Okay, we're creating a machine of a distribution model here in the space of anti-aging. The writing's on the wall. From this time forward, it's going to be massive advancement and globalizing our brand. Innovators out there, researchers out there, institutions with cutting-edge advancements in anti-aging are lining up to show Jeff Olson what they've got, that we might adopt it into our product line. Does that make sense? So in the age of information, well, not information, it's called intellectual distribution, because this is distribution. But in the age of intellectual distribution, certain anti-aging products or things that might come our way have a piece of information that need to go along with it. Top researchers and top institutions, acclaimed institutions know if we have the model and we have the loyal client base and we have the distributors who know how to send a video, pass a magazine, push play on a DVD, if they could get their cutting edge breakthrough in Jeff Olson's hands and it becomes our piece of our line, we have the vehicle to advance that to the globe. Does that make sense? That also gives us the opportunity to say no to everything but the very, very best. So we'll never be a company with 200 products or anything like that. Will we have 6 to a dozen cutting edge, true breakthrough exclusivities? Yes, we probably will one day. And no one says they're going to always be in skincare. You guys understand that, right? There's no one that said this is only ever going to be a skincare product. We are anti-aging, and we're going to be a breakthrough company. The fact that we've been featured in Success from Home 3 times, that spoke volumes to me because, you know what, in the space, in any space of ground floor companies today, especially 3 years ago, very few make it out the door past their second year. So they were writing about us in 3 months. Our first 3 months, they were starting to write about us in this one, the Success from Home magazine. I still have it because the editor talked about why they were featuring Nerium. It wasn't because one thing, it was the whole package. It was the affiliation with a real biotech company, 15 years of hard, quantifiable research, exclusivity, Jeff Olson. We looked like a 10-year company in our 3rd month. Okay, so that just makes me incredibly proud, and it should give you confidence. Okay, this is really exciting. I just touched upon it. So we launched in 2011. Have you all heard the story how they launched? Very, very quietly. Now, my husband worked at Microsoft for 19 years. Helicopters, Coldplay would play on the, Microsoft campus when there was a big product launch, Windows. Nothing like this. It was like Jeff Olson sent Mark and Tammy Smith a bottle of Nerium and said, here, figure out how to sell this. And that was how they launched, very quietly. They had to figure out a system. So in our first year, 2012, our first full year, we generated $100 million in revenue. The second year, 2012, $219 million in revenue, and at the end of the year, we advanced a day cream. 2013, wait a second, 2012 was our first year. 2013 was our second year, excuse me. In 2014, we obviously launched Canada, hello, why we're here, and we introduced Mexico into the Nerium family. Just to show you what happened, it took 5 months for Nerium to do $1 million in revenue, kind of very grassroots, ground floor, word of mouth in the US, right? One product, just very, very beginning of, hey, try this. Then Canada came into play. I know we launched 2 provinces right away. It took about a month to do $1 million in revenue in 2 provinces. It took 24 hours to hit $1 million in Mexico. Do you see a trend? Okay, it's important you understand that because this is the point in time it's going to start really, really branching out, and momentum is going to pick up as we continue to roll into 2015 and advance our globalization. Okay, there's more people in the field now. There's more notoriety. There's more people talking about us not only in magazines but on social networking, the DSN, and from what I understand, we're on track. We predict roughly $400 million in revenue for 2014. Those are pretty big numbers, don't you think? Yeah. But this is the most exciting part, right here, because, you know, and anyone as a guest here, I just encourage you, think like a business person here. Don't think, I'll try it. I don't want anyone to come in and try it. I want you to come in and commit to this for the long-term strategy because it's so significant where we're going and the market share and the fact that if you look at history, if you do due diligence, I don't have time for all this, I might share some on Saturday, I'll share some numbers about another company called New Skin. I'll talk a little bit about Herbalife. I'll talk a little bit about Mary Kay. Where we're going, to me, it's a done deal. It's just time to play it out and the commitment to build a substantial organization and give it the time. But if we look maybe 2016, 2017, we could be in 16 more international markets. But the beautiful thing is, you're here first. You're here with me. We're here at ground, you know, at the first stage, early movers advantage. There's no way to say how big you can grow this. I think that's what keeps me up at night is that to me it's very creative, it's very challenging, and I could talk to the CEO of Google right now. How exciting this is and where we could take this, where the average person could take this, there's no limits. You will never get a call from Jeff Olson saying, Natalie, I think we're paying you too much. Can you just like slow it down? Like these checks are out of, No, we want you to make this whatever you want to be for yourself. And if you have a 7-figure appetite and your heart is helping other people get to $1,000 a month, a $2,000 a month, a Lexus car bonus, a $55,000 bonus, there's no reason you can't dream about that 7-figure lifestyle one day. Okay, one day being the operative word. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. But the company is going in that direction, and there's a career path for you, a part-time, however you want to look at it. It's not like quit your job today and just go all into Nerium. No one would ever suggest that. Build this alongside what you're doing and build yourself a future. But this is the most exciting thing to so many of us, not to mention the fact that we are committed to doing it right. So here's Jeff Olson, and I've had, he still scares me, but he still intimidates me a lot, but I've had enough time to rub shoulders with him and to listen very carefully. I would say in the last 2.5 years, I've only seen him live up to whatever he said he was going to do. He under-promises, he over-delivers. The first thing out of his mouth, if he was up here for the first half an hour, like I've been talking, it'd be purpose and meaning, purpose and meaning, purpose and meaning. He really is, that's who he is. He's, someone who wants you to have a vehicle where you are safe, where we invest in you. You make a one-time investment, we will invest in you the rest of your life, and you build a life. And for some people, it's just, here's one, buy organic food for your kids. I have a friend in Seattle, that's her goal. I just want to be able to buy organic strawberries all year round for my children. Hey, let's get you there with Nerium. Maybe it's a safe car. Maybe it's paying off or being able to afford college. I don't know what college is like here, but back home, it's like you got to remortgage your house that you spent years paying off to put your kids through college. Maybe that's your goal for your business, to be able to take care of other people. Maybe it's to have, I heard this in Maryland. My friend Wendy Williams said, Anna, I just want to be geographically independent. And I said, I love that. Like, live wherever you want, whenever you want, for as long as you want, with whomever you want. Can you guys, can you see how cool that would be one day if you have kids out of the house, whatever, and you could just go wherever you want, have a house maybe in the Turks and Caicos, be able to go spend time in the UK, go travel over to Singapore and visit your team there. I mean, just the flexibility and the freedom and to have that peace. So He's all about giving us the gift of Nerium, and probably most importantly, he's about doing it right. And having seen a lot of other types of leaders out there and people who just want the almighty dollar to sing loud and, true, that's not Jeff. He wants this to be his legacy. So, I hope you get a chance to hear him, watch his 2020 vision. There's a video on our back office. You could have the person who brought you here send that to you. I think to hear him, there's a sincerity there. And in 3 years, I'm so grateful with my decision. I mean, he's the best leader. So he's put together a phenomenal team. And here's the culture. So I watched this develop. When I joined the company, it was about 7 months old, and we were still kind of all trying to figure it out. It was scary. When I joined, I thought, oh my gosh, it's one product. What if no one wants my product? And I didn't have any ideas of revenue. There was no evidence so far. I just looked at Jeff Olson and said, I've got to focus on, this is the man with the Midas touch. I'm following him, and I'm following Mark and Tammy Smith. Then I watched the culture start to come and play. I watched the ripple at our first conference in San Diego. I watched the partnership with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Success for Teens Foundation. We've seen these workshops all over the country for Nerium kids and non-Nerium kids when we do events. And of course, Jeff's latest is his media. He has his own media company revolving around Live Happy and positive psychology and research. He's even spoken to the United Nations this last spring on happiness. So this is key, because what I do know after 9 years is not all companies are created equal. Not all opportunities are created equal. People will come into your life, they'll come into your business because maybe they want some extra income, maybe they want part-time income, maybe they want a car. But they're gonna stay because of the culture and the way it's changing their life. Any Jim Rohn fans out there? Yeah, okay. I love, and in your step, there's a great Jim Rohn CD. He talks about you can do it for the money, but there's such a bigger reason to build a business like this, and that's for the person you're going to become. And Jeff knows that. And so I just have seen this transform the company, and people out there are crying for joy and happiness in their lives. And so to have our vehicle for great skin, great income, but also improving your lives, it's second to none. Okay. So let's talk about the product, the star of the show, Optimera. So again, understanding the space of anti-aging, set to grow to $1 trillion overall the next 10 years. And we're in a little segment, not a little segment, but like the golden kind of segment of that growth in anti-aging. What we have is truly unique, and that exclusivity makes this opportunity even more profound. Revolutionary skincare ingredients, formulations, patent pending, but more than that, they're products that are on demand. They meet the target audience. People want botanical. They want easy to use. They want real results. And of course, we're so proud because everything we put forward we know is based on real science, and we have a commitment to that today, yesterday, and moving forward. So everything we bring to the market for Nerium and Optimera is going to be product development based on independent clinical trials. And we use real third-party testing facilities as well as the most advanced facial equipment possible. I think these little modern scanners are called Visios, and they're incredibly high-intense, like MRI-type technology scanners. And you can see them today if you go to a med spa. Certain med spas have them. Dermatologists have them. Not only can they see what's happening at the surface of the skin, they can measure lines, deep lines, pigmentation. They can see what's happening underneath the skin. So I love that, because in my business now, from day one, I didn't need to be a skincare expert. I just said, oh, you need to see the clinical video, and I would send the video off. I don't need to explain all this. So if you're looking at me going, I don't want to do what you're doing, you never have to do what I'm doing. I sign up for this. You can just push play on a video or send an email with the information. But let's look at the difference. So for Optimera, we call this, we have Nate and we have Sally, Sister Sally. So it's patent pending SAL-14 extract with cell duplication technology. That sounds fancy. I don't know what that means, but it sounds fancy. Biden's Pelosa. Actually, it's really good for the environment, that cell duplication technology. And it's renewable resources as well. But Biden's Pelosa, Centella asiatica, yeah, I don't even know what that, you can read that. But basically what we have is an exclusivity in this formula, okay? And what I liked about it, now, call me crazy, because I love skincare. I've always played, as a girl, we play with makeup. Any girls out there play with makeup and skin? Yeah, you got that drawer thing in your bathroom counter, right? Tons of junk that you spent hundreds of dollars on that didn't work. But what I saw here was an attraction to the masses. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time. I still like to play with some skincare sometime. I like to go to get a facial once in a while. But what I saw here was finally the simple product, night and day, that delivers scientifically predicted results, and it's so simple. Fine lines, discoloration, uneven skin texture, enlarged pores, and aging and loose skin. I think I can build an army of consumers on this philosophy if the product works, all right? So I mean, maybe you said that, if the product works. Well, that was what I said until my friend said, did you not see it's clinically proven to work? It's predicted. That's what the studies are all about. I said, I like this more and more because I have something that people can try for like 5 days to just see how it feels, but it's clinically predicted to work. Does that make sense? Oh, that is a beautiful situation to have. And so anyway, this is how I looked at it. If this is really an effective product, we're going to hear a testimonial this evening. People, go to our Facebook page and see the hundreds and thousands of before and after photos. They just keep coming. You guys, we can take this around the world because people don't all want crazy, fancy, expensive, complicated, intimidating skincare regimens. You agree? 16 little bottles and little dropper vials and things that have 14 karat gold in it and cost $400 here and $200 here. This works for discoloration. This works for crow's feet. That's gone. That's like yesterday's news. This is the future, and we have the corner on it. So I looked at that and I thought, game over. I mean, I could work with this and build an army. And you know what everybody said? And they still say it today. I love how simple this is. And I said, I knew you would say that. You're going to love hearing, I love how simple this is. Okay, let's look at some photos. Again, I'm not a skincare expert, but I would say on the left to the right, if I looked at her crow's legs or crow's feet and her puffiness and her eyebrow or her eyelid, she looks a lot better. And I just want to ask you, do you think she wants her money back? No, I think she's happy. Really happy. Okay, this is great for skin aging, just general aging and discoloration. And I mean, look at the difference. Hydration, smoothness, brightness. Do you think she wants her money? I think it's a her. Do you think she wants her money back? No. You can say no, like in French. That's fine. The same thing. Okay, now look at this guy. Something happens. I have something in my eye. When you look at before and after pictures and you look at a lot of them, sometimes you see a tone change. I'm told by estheticians and skincare experts because when you make the skin healthier, the tone of the skin actually starts to change and look healthier. That's a natural reflection from a healthier, hydrated skin. But look at the forehead lines, look at the dullness, look at how much meridian it is. And the lines are like almost gone. This is within 30 days or less. Do you think he's happy? Do you think his friends at work might say, Jean-Paul, what are you doing? And I need to know about it. Like, he looks really good, don't you think? Okay, so when you have products like this, that does happen. That's one of the beautiful things of our business. Okay, this gal, we have discoloration, uneven skin texture. Look at under her eyes, and the puffiness and her eyelids. I mean, you could just go on and on. I think she's happy, and I have a hard time believing she wants her money back. This is a happy client. Would you agree? If you had results like this, would you be open to sharing a bottle of product with someone to try? Yeah. Why would you? How could you keep that a secret? Okay. Now, I know you had your Thanksgiving in October. Ours is in 2 weeks, but like, seriously, we finally have a solution for turkey necks. I don't know what to say. I don't know where the skin goes, but thank goodness it goes. Not everybody, here's the newsflash. Yes, Botox is a big market out there. Yes, lasers and plastic surgery. Not everybody wants to go into the knife. Not everybody wants needles in their skin and invasive procedures. It's a botanical cream. It's a cutting-edge blend of botanical and real skincare science meeting. You put it on at night and go night-night, and your skin looks better in the morning. And you just do it day after day, and you get these dramatic results. I think we're on to something. All right, so how can you get these products? Well, first off, we call it the Night and Day Optimera Night and Day Duo. 24 hours of Optimera anti-aging. It would retail at $188. Now, for those of you who think that's a lot, I would say go do a little bit of research out there. There are eye creams and night creams that are $200, $300 just for one jar. But that's our retail price. We like to go straight to a preferred customer loyalty discount, so you can get it for $138 as a preferred customer. Couple things that really, really impressed me about this. Number one, There's no sign-up fee, so you don't have to pay money to be a discounted customer. We just say, get it at the preferred customer price. Number 2, there's no agreement to how long you need to stay on it, so no one's locked in, so you have confidence when you're sharing with friends and family or associates or coworkers or friends from the 2nd grade. You're not doing a bait and switch. They can try it for a month and continue it as long as they like or stop it. And number 3, probably most importantly, is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you're not selling to anybody. You simply are sharing. The company's assuming all of that backup and all that guarantee on their part. Does that make sense? Okay. So how many of you say or have heard people say, I don't like to sell? Okay. So here's a couple pieces of advice. Take the money out of it. Just simply share. And when you see your results, simply share. Leave the outcome, share. Second thing I would say is, how many of you said one more time you don't like to sell? Okay. How many of you are married? Raise your hand. Okay, you sold something once, so let's just be honest. Okay, how's it working for you? I'm joking. I've been married 16 years. I did really well. Anyway, okay, so $138 is still $138. I've got 3 Woodies at home and that like to eat a lot, and I just can't believe how much it costs sometimes to feed them, keep them in lunch. So we have a couple really competitive programs where people can pay less. And the first one's called Get Your Night Cream for Free. And if you become a preferred customer and you refer 3 customers, the next month your night cream's for free. Okay, it's called our 3 You Are Free. And this is really great because from a business model, let's say, what's your name? Melissa is a brand partner. And what's your name? Danica? Close enough, Danica. Okay, Danica becomes a preferred customer. And she's like, well, I'll get both the products, but $138 is still $138. Melissa says, Danica, would you be mad at me if I helped you get your product for free next month? Are you stupid? No. Are you crazy? Of course I would be mad at you. I'd love to get it for free. Let's have a wine and cheese. Let's make a list and send a few videos out to a few friends. Let's have some fun and post your before and after picture and send it to a few friends. If we get 3 of your friends who want to order the product and use the product, the next month your night cream's for free. Now that might be this much work, but the really cool thing is Melissa, as the brand partner, she's going to make the money on the customers that Danica just referred into the business. She's going to get the bonuses, she's going to get the residual income, and she's going to get free inventory because they just came into her business as customers through Danica. And there's a very good probability that in time, one of those customers will actually join her business as a brand partner and upgrade. Does that make sense? So this is great for keeping customers and retention and referrals. It's also great for building your bucket and building your business in general. I'm going to do some training on Saturday on that. Okay, another compelling program, which I've never seen done before, is 3 consecutive months of ordering Optimira Night and Day. You can get free day cream for life. That's a long time. It could be a long time. I don't know anyone who gives you anything free for life. So this is the perfect scenario to say to Grandma Betty or your neighbor, or it's just, you have the holidays coming. So you have people come into your house. You're going to look great because you're using the product. Show them if they get started today, let's say this month, and then they use the product again and see better benefits in December. They start again in January. That's their 3rd month. By February, they're not going to pay for their day cream ever again. Ever. Like there's a Taylor Swift song. Ever, ever, never. Okay? So that's cool. Now, you can't cancel your ADO. You have to keep on it, but that's free day cream for the rest of your life. And if you have a brand partner who's thinking like a business partner, they're going to say, I want to help her get her day cream or his day cream for life free too with those product referrals. Does that make sense? So you could really, money's no excuse. It's a momentary lapse of, okay, $138. Let's get it all for free. All right? Okay, so this is where I get really excited about talking about the Live Better portion. And, I'm just going to ask you to think about, like, opening here, what would, we're going to hear how we get started. It's a $500 pack and a $1,000 pack. It's roughly, just to be honest, the price of this is 5 hours a week to get started. It's turn off the voice, turn off, Sunday night football, maybe not football, but I like football, but something else, turn the TV off a little bit, and focus 5 hours a week of your time getting this information out in front of people that can really take an educated evaluation of it, try the product, look at a few videos, and decide if this could be for them. If you can do that, I can't even give you an indicator of what that might mean for your worth, because there's networking in this business, and there's things that are going to come into your life that you can't predict. I think that's why I really get excited about every day I wake up. I think, I wonder who I'm going to bless today. I wonder who I'm going to share with today. I wonder who's going to come into my life today. This is really exciting. Now, in the beginning, you may be thinking, well, if I come in at $500, I want to make my money back. We have a plan to help you do that. It's called Roadmap to Lexus, and we can pretty much show you in your first month, if you follow a certain series of steps and business steps and getting your product out there and doing some three-way calls and have a wine and cheese party, there's a very good probability you can make that money back in your first month. But moving forward, because this is a consumable product, people who come into your network as consumers are on this product month after month after month. You're earning residual on every order that's in your network every month, okay? So what I can tell you is when you build a book of business, okay, on these repeat orders that stack and stack and stack month after month on top of each other, that's how you start changing lifestyle. Okay, I just want to dial that back one more time because people think you're just selling skincare. Yeah, kind of not really. We're building a network of consumers. And I build a network of consumers in two ways. Obviously, I share my product. People who are looking for anti-aging, looking for what I have, it's a fit. They order the product through Nerium, through my website. But Nerium takes care of everything. I do nothing. Just get them to the website. Now, I also want to help people get started in their business when it's a fit. So I look for those connections for people who are looking for retirement money, part-time income. Maybe they want to quit one of their day jobs or one of their evening jobs. Maybe they want to support their kids better, put them in through school, pay off their mortgage, remodel a kitchen, whatever their dream is, whatever that one thing is. If I help them get started in the business, they become one of my business centers. But we call those brand partners, okay? We're partners in the business, but I'm just trying to give you an idea what we really do. So we build a customer base, and we build other customer gatherers. Now, this is the month of November. If I was just getting started today, I would roll up my sleeves, I'd get these products out, I'd get my list together, and I'd introduce this ground floor company to as many fun and sharp people as I can. So they can see, maybe they can see what I see. If they join me, I'm going to teach them with our system. I'm going to plug them into the system and how we do things to create customers and to share the business opportunity with other people. Okay? I'm going to help them. I'm not going to do it for them, but we have such a simple system. It's very turnkey. Now, December is going to come. And in normal sales, everyone starts at zero. Anyone in sales here? Do you hate the first of the month? It's like, oh, uphill again. I got to start from scratch. Most businesses and sales work that way. Not when you're with Nerium, because we're building an ongoing book of business. So we start December, and everyone who's in your business is on an ADO, okay? We all have an order that's going through the system on a set day in December because we all use our product. And then we have customers and brand partners who joined the team in November, so their orders will run as well in December. Then we spend December gathering new customers and launching new brand partners and helping new people come on and get their brand partners and getting more customers. So that December book of business layers on the November book of business. So we have a bigger book of business now. You guys, are you tracking me? Then we get to January 1st, and most people are like, oh, it's the beginning of the year. This is horrible. Well, good news is we have an evergreen product in an evergreen space. People are always going to wash their face, need to put something on. So now we get to January, and we're all helping launch businesses because people are at the beginning of the year. I need to make money. This is my year. I have too much debt from last year. I have big goals for 2015. We help new customers get started because they want to look good. They want to feel great in the new year, right? Everyone has a new outlook on life. So we have another growing book of business in January that layers on top of what's coming through as well from December and as well as November. Are you guys following this? This is like so revolutionary. This is the only company to ever successfully build, with the skincare product and anti-aging, this rolling book of business. And when you want to see or you ask, how do lives change? Build a book of business, but give it the time to grow. When I travel, I get people say, oh, it's been 6 weeks, I'm frustrated. It's been 6 weeks. Would you drop your teenager at college? What would you say if they said, Mom, I'll give it my best 45 days of my life? No, you said it was 4 years, right? Didn't I just write a check? Yeah, you have to have a mindset. Give it enough time, but I'm telling you, it's like a snowball. You guys know snow up here, right? It's like a snowball. So when that happens, and I'll get to a slide here at the end, you really can change some lifestyle. Now, I'm not going to argue and say that $1,000 9 years ago took me probably several months to get to $1,000 in my last company 9 years ago because I was completely stubborn and uncoachable, and we didn't have a rolling book of business like this. We didn't have a simple system, and we didn't have anything exclusive. But it changed my lifestyle because I could more easily write the checks for my kids' school. If you could, let's say, have an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, just you don't have to say it out loud, but just think of one thing that would solve for you, one problem, one little problem in your life right now. Maybe it's make double car payments. Maybe make an extra mortgage payment. Maybe it's finally have a down payment or rolling payments on that beach house or that lake house you've been talking about with your brothers and sisters. Maybe it's help an elderly parent with some extra money each month that they're struggling. But I don't know one person I've ever met that has said $500 to $1,000 would not improve their lifestyle at least this much to gooder, right? And if we can show you that in this business, I promise you're going to start to see $2,000 to $4,000. It just happens. You're going to see the book of business grow, and it's not rocket science. Well, if I did that, why can't I just continue to do this and do that? Well, that's the whole point. You can. You just couldn't see that in the beginning. But now you're here. Now you're starting to see if we just keep doing the same thing over and over again, you have a bigger book of business, a bigger team, more customer clients out there, so you have a bigger footprint with your organization. You have more income and more residuals, and it keeps going and going. So, typically in our industry, it's a 10-year run to a six-figure income if you're with a good company. And there's a lot of not so good companies. I mean, there really are. But that's what I was always taught. If you find a solid company with a good product, that's a good model, good leadership, it's probably a 10-year commitment to get to an executive level income, which is typically referred to as a six-figure income. What we're seeing with Nerium, because all of the markers are in place, I call it the perfect storm. It's also ground floor, and it's moving like a grass fire. We're seeing people reach goals in far significant less time. We call that time is compressing, simply because they're taking these products, they're taking this information, and they're moving it out to as many people as they can and teaching others to do the same. And you know what I found? I don't know about Canada because I'm just starting to travel, but in the U.S., it doesn't matter if you are a six-figure income earner or if you are fresh out of college or you're ready to retire or you're an award-winning vascular surgeon. Everybody's open to more lifestyle. Would you agree? I mean, some of the most successful people, you think, well, they don't need lifestyle. They're making like oodles of money. Have you thought that they may not have their time? They feel like they've been robbed of their life because they've been doing what they've done for so long to make this kind of great money, but they have no time. So lifestyle is not just income. It's the flexibility to be who you want, when you want, and have your life back. So consider $500 a month. How many people do you know right now in your circle, your acquaintances, your family, that could make a significant impact on their life? I know where I live, it could change the zip code. It could change the schools your kids go to. It could keep you out of bankruptcy. And I know the economy is different up here. But what if you're a difference maker? What if you're someone who wants to give more to your church? What if you're someone who wants to do something more with a philanthropy, or be someone who helps someone in their family who is not as fortunate have an opportunity? There's so many ways to look at this. But all I do know, I think it was Zig Ziglar who really said, it's about helping a lot of people get what they want. And it's not a lot of people get into seven-figure incomes. Just help people get to $500 to $1,000, to $1,500, to $1,000, to the iPad, to Lexus. Just work in that space because people can see that space and they're hungry for that space. And you do it enough times and your group does it enough times and it just starts to grow with the company, and you really can change that lifestyle. You can find a way to be geographically independent. You can find a way to maybe leave a job that's leaving you kind of unfulfilled and find a way to pour more of yourself and your heart into other people, into building your future in your company. One last little thing I'll say about this is if I'm going to spend my life making anyone wealthy, I want to make sure it's passed down to my kids when my last breath is gone. Okay? This is an asset you build. Whether you take 5 hours a week, you take 5 years to build it, you take 5 hours a week, or you take 15 years, this is something you can pay it forward and give it to your kids or your grandkids. Does that make sense? I don't know about you, but that's a good place to spend my time, I think. Okay, so I've already went over this. Perfect timing, record-setting company, leverages word-of-mouth advertising. How can you benefit? I just want to say about the perfect timing is, again, in the space of pretty much any company, and I'll just share with them, my little old example in my backyard with Microsoft. We watched that whole incredible story unfold. And we was in our own backyard, and we watched people year after year. I mean, there were dozens of friends and people who picked off millionaires, and you probably are seeing in the oil industry right now, millionaires after millionaires who were there because they were there at the right space and time when the company grew, really that market share up and to the right and went global with their brand, okay, and that mass adoption and that mass acceptance. With where we are right now, let's say 2014 is a $400 million year. You guys, we have our eyes set. I mean, and Jeff has a big appetite. He doesn't do anything little. We know $1 billion is within our reach. We know the $1 billion mark is within our reach. There hasn't been a company to come in direct sales, network marketing in 25 years to successfully breach that $1 billion mark. What I know, whether I'm in this or you're in this, whether you decide to do this tonight or it doesn't matter to me, whether I stop tomorrow, it doesn't matter. This company, from this point to that $1 billion plus, is where wealth is made. It's just where it's made. So people say to me all the time, am I too late? Am I too late? I'm like, are you kidding me? You're not too late, but another couple years, I'm going to be in Fiji, and then you're going to be too late to work with me because I'm going to be done. But no, this is when a company is set to explode, and the most fertile markets are right in front of us. But here's the thing. You're here first. You're here first. You have a huge opportunity, okay? I like this. You can kind of, again, this is like, where do you see yourself? If you share the product, you're going to get paid. I'm going to train on this on Saturday. We have a great, part-time income, which is sharing product and selling product. A product like this typically sells itself. If you share the business, you get paid. Okay, if you call Christopher in Calgary and he just happens to be kind of fed up with what he's doing, or more demands at the home, or maybe he has got maybe another baby on the way, wants to put some extra time into something to build extra income for the family, and he opens a business in Calgary, you get paid because part of his efforts are reflected in what you earn in your residuals and your commissions. Make sense? Okay, and if you really like that process, I like it because I think it's giving people hope and giving them a real opportunity. Do it on a mass scale and do it just do it until, and you can get to career income, okay? So those are kind of the three ways. So we're going to talk about Roadmap to Lexus. This is genius. This is very simple, and I just don't know anything. I've never had a real business before. My husband's always reminded me, you've never had a real job, you never had a real business, but you're doing pretty good with the skincare thing. But you know what I love about this? I don't have to do anything. I mean, Miriam does everything. Any business owners out there? They do everything. And so you have to scratch your head and say, is this too good to be true? It kind of is. So we have an inventory program, an inventory replenishment program. This is a commitment by Jeff Olson. He really truly believes you invest in yourself once, you start your business. From that point on, we are going to invest in you. Every time you make a successful connection with a preferred customer or a brand partner, you earn a free bottle of Optimira night cream. Now, there's people who have earned 20 bottles, 40 bottles. I had someone last night, or a couple nights ago in New Jersey, had 80-some bottles he's earned. What can you do with those, or you can do with them? You can turn around and sell them for full value, $125, and keep it all, okay? Or you can use it to sample and to share the business or the product with somebody else. I always wonder the power of one of these little bottles. If we could put little tracers on them and see where they go and whose lives they touch, I often wonder, where did that little bottle go that sponsored On a Camp? It was a bottle of product, just like that. Someone gave her the product. That should be a Hall of Fame bottle. And that's the beauty of our simple product prospecting. You just don't know when you pass a bottle for someone to try because they're curious about the product, what they're thinking behind the eyeballs. Maybe they're looking for something. Maybe they're dying for something and praying for something. Or maybe they just think, this is cool, and I'd love to share this with my friends. So we have a free inventory program. In the last 3 years, over $40 million of free inventory has gone back to the field. Again, Jeff Olson does that. I don't do that. That's pretty cool. And now we're going to go Roadmap to Lexus. This is I'm going to keep it so simple, but you're going to see some what we call business drivers in here. And once again, the attraction here is people like these business drivers. And if they tell you they don't need a Lexus, they're so lying. They may not need it, but I've just never seen anyone who hasn't gotten a brand new Lexus and gone, this is really a sweet ride. And it's sweeter yet because Miriam's paying for it. So, but these drivers attract people. And the best part, as a business owner, you don't have to do any of this. This is all provided by the company to help grow and incentivize your group and your team, okay? So the first step, get started. You can get started today. You can get started when you wake up in the morning. Just go on the website to the person who sent you here, log in and get your started. And the first business goal is to call senior brand partner. And all that simply means is to enroll 3 people to join your business. Now, I called it looking for my dream team. 3 people who are on my dream team to join my business with me. And I had to talk to quite a few before I found 3. But you know what? Those 3 people who joined my team are all high 6-figure income earners right now. So I was happy to talk to more than a few. So start to talk to a few, talk to several, doesn't matter. And 3 people who join your team, now you are senior brand partner. If you do it in 30 days or less, then you become Fast Start qualified and you actually earn another, I think it's $110 bonus. So when you sample that in to the bonuses you make when you sponsor and so forth, you can pretty much earn like $760 in that first 30 days. That's your money back. And now you have the best part, you have a team. Okay, so when you have 3 people, you have leverage. Okay, so the next step is help your 3 people do the same thing. This is perfect math. Help them do the same thing. 3 people here, 3 people here, 3 people there. And in your first or second month, you can earn a free iPad. All right, sent by the company. We have our own little iPad department at Apple because we order so many iPads. The cool thing here is now brand partner, let's say that's Melissa, Donica, and Joni. Now they want the iPad because they're like, you got the iPad. I saw it on Facebook. I want the iPad. Help me get the iPad. Well, you have a team. Let's get revved up. Let's get them Fast Start qualified and get your iPad. Let's see what that looks like. 3 iPads, Lexus car bonus. It's really it's that simple as far as the concept. It's that simple. So, again, that's kind of income you can earn on the way to Lexus. It fluctuates. It depends on, did you do this in a compressed period of time? You can take all the time in the world to get Lexus. I know people who did it in 14 days. I know people who did it in 14 months. There's no time limit to get a Lexus car bonus. And that's important to know because my friend Kathy Hankin, she's a 1-star national in Seattle, she always says, not everybody is going to be a microwave. Some people want to be slow cookers, and that's okay. Don't compare yourself. If you want to take your time, you just never know when that person comes to your business, who's the fire starter, who goes out and gets a 14-day Lexus. That can change everything in your business. But just stay consistent. Everyone in this room can earn a Lexus car bonus. And not just the car bonus, you're also earning income, weekly income, and so forth at that point. All right? So that's roadmap to Lexus. So once again, I'm just going to hover here for a second because I didn't get this a long time ago. I was really slow. Maybe it was the music major in me. I don't know. I didn't get this at all. So you can decide what this can be for yourself. If you want to have fun sharing the product, you saw how simple it is to share. You can make some money when people order the product, okay? If you want to build the team, maybe earn that iPad. Maybe that's a fabulous goal. Go for iPad. Everybody can get iPad. You can go to director. It might take you 30 days, 90 days to go director, but go for it. If you like that feeling of a team, and it's a lot more than leveraged income, it's like a family, it's like people working together to build something pretty cool, you can start earning leveraged income from that. And if you really like it, and you start to come to events, and you see so many people come up across the stage who are having life-changing incomes, retiring their spouses, buying their dream homes, living debt-free, then do it on a massive scale. But realize you got to give it the time to play out. This is not a 6-week journey. But there's no end to where we're going to scale this. Southeast Asia, the next year is on the horizon. Latin America, we know we'll be in Europe in the next couple years. There's no shortage of people out there. So you can have a tremendous lot of fun with this. You can have an incredible, fulfilling career, and you can 100% change your life and your children's lives. It's so simple to get started. We have 2 starter packs. Again, this is where you just say which one makes more sense to me. There's an 8-bottle of Optimera pack, and there's a 20-bottle. Obviously, the price reflects $575 and $1,150. I would say the difference is you can start your business here just fine, but you can really launch your business with a big pack. And most of the people that I know, they usually say when they launch with a big pack, they had ample product to go out there and prospect and to do some one-on-ones and product drop-offs and let people sample the product, look at videos on the business. When they did this one, they felt they didn't quite have enough product to get them where they wanted to go fast enough. So this one will be all you need. This one might not be quite enough to get started the way you want, but it's also your budget. Okay, so just pick one that makes more sense for you, but don't let the price keep you out of this. I mean, everyone spent $575 at some point on something you can't even remember, right? On a campsite, likes to say a night you can't remember. I don't know about that, but I just know that the return on investment here, It's pretty epic. And so, you can turn some of those bottles over and sell them for cash if you don't want to spend quite $5.75. I'd rather turn them into brand partners and preferred customers, but you can make this work in either way, all right? And either one of those comes with unlimited free inventory for life. Okay, also comes in your kit. You get an automatic branded website, full back office, communication center. And believe me, my mom can send an email with a video. Anybody can send an email with a video. It is so simple. We also have a Yeppers program for the young people, state-of-the-art marketing tools, a phone app. All I know is this. If I want to send a video to a friend in Korean, I go to the back office, I go, Korean videos, bam, stick your email in, send the video in an email. And that's going to continue to be like that, whether we're looking for French or Spanish or Japanese. When the time comes, they're really giving us all the language. It's the touch of a button, and that's what people like today. Okay, I'm losing you. I can hear it. So I'm going to close this out, and you guys want to have some fun and stay for a while and visit, and please come, ask me questions, and I love to talk and meet guests all the time. But I will tell you, I've had the same decision that you have in front of you when I started 2.5 years ago. Maybe I had more knowledge. Maybe I had more belief because I saw the industry for 7 years, and I saw the quality, and I saw the potential, and I did know who Jeff Olson was, and so I was not going to miss out, but I was still scared. And so I asked you to consider, what's your life worth? What's your time worth? There's a lot of things, working and having a job and money and all that kind of stuff is all great and wonderful. But at the end of the day, I've never seen a hearse pull a U-Haul behind it. It's always, I wish I could have been with people I loved. I wish I had more time with my mom. I wish I had more time with my child. I wish I did something with purpose and meaning. And when you think about how the lives are changing today, you just heard those 3 testimonials about the car and the product. You heard hope, and you heard people who are driven by a passion to make a difference, and they see a better life ahead for them. I'll tell you that when I got started, I was scared. And here's why I was kind of scared. Because it was springtime. It was April. Baseball season just started. I have 3 kids. One was in baseball, one was in lacrosse. My husband was traveling a lot. I was really in my own groove, working out, and I was in the school, I was, doing the mom thing in the classroom, and I heard about this Miriam, and the first thing I thought was, this is not a good time for me. This is not a really good time for me. It's spring, it's baseball season. Are you kidding me? But here's what I know. Opportunity is not going to, come knock on your door when it's the opportune time for you. You have to recognize when it's the opportune time for the company and the opportunity at large. And so I had to kind of sit down. Besides the naysayers, which I'll address in a minute, I'd have a checkup from the neck up and say, are you willing to get uncomfortable for a season or 2 to live a life of abundance with your family? Because I believe Jeff Olson, I believed his vision, I believe where he was going with this. And my feeling was, I can't not find out. I've got to find out. I'm looking back with regret that I missed something. It was just too much. But the funny story was when I called people, so how many of you have called people to say, what do you think about this? Right? So my dad said, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't do it. And I thought, I got to go. Who asked you anyway? And then my mom said, I have a stomach ache. I can't talk to you. I thought, well, you're no good. No, I don't mean that really. But she always has stomach aches when I get these ideas. And then my husband goes, why are you asking me? You know you're going to do what you want. Just take the credit card. I said, good point. And so I went to my friend's house Monday morning with a bottle of Miriam AD. And her husband was there. And he owns med spas. And he's really busy. He's an entrepreneur. He sees me at all the baseball games, and he's hardly ever there. And he's like, why are you doing this? You're doing fine. You have a nice white Mercedes, and you're at all the kids' games. So why would you want to do this now? Don't do it. I don't think you should do it. It's one product. It's a startup. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like, would you go somewhere so I can talk to your wife about this, please? And he went to the kitchen to get a friend on the phone from Dallas, Texas. And this friend said, yeah, I've heard about it. I wouldn't do it. Nope, try not to do it. No, I wouldn't do it. It's risky. Don't do it. Don't do it. I thought, what is going on? The world's like conspiring against me, right? Well, all I can say is never, ever listen to people more screwed up than you. Just don't, okay? Because now they're all like, my dad's like, I'm so proud of you. And my mom's like, hey, can I have more Miriam? And my husband's like, retired after 19 years. And those 2 gentlemen who told me, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, it is 2-star National Marketing Director John Dawson of Dallas, Texas, and it's 2-star National Marketing Director Rick Frisk of Sammamish, Washington. So sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we have to see it before others see it. But in just closing, really truly, I'm happy to talk to you more. Go back to the person who invited you here. I look at this and the entrepreneur in me and the person who knows, who's seen the lives change. I know where this is going. I hope you see a little clearer tonight why you were invited here. I hope you understand it more. I hope you're kind of up tonight. We call that Nerium Delirium. And just to end on the hockey great Wayne Gretzky, because this is hockey land, right? Okay, so here it goes. You have a choice to make. I think my favorite quote of his is, "I've always missed 100% of the shots I never took." So Ottawa, it's your turn. Take the shot. Thank you guys so much.